your emotions are causing you to transform. They're allowing you to transform. You're using them to transform, however you want to think about it, but they're valuable. And I didn't understand this. I was receiving information years and years ago, and I received this one. As I told many of you before in my messages, I don't know what I'm getting, and I figure it out later. I believe we all do that. That's our lives. That's called evolving and expanding and getting greater awareness about everything. And so one of the things that I was given in the late 80s, as a matter of 1980s, was all of your emotions are valid. They have purpose, and they are leading you somewhere if you don't judge them, if you don't stop them. They're leading you to your beliefs. So when you allow yourself to experience them, they're going to lead you to your beliefs, if you don't judge them. And then when you get to your beliefs, you'll be able to look at them and say, wait a minute, is this real or not? That's really what it is. But if we stop experiencing, if we start feeling our emotions, then we don't get there. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes we are afraid of experiencing our emotions. I'm talking about this because this is in my program. I didn't understand this before, but we have a whole section in there where we get you to look at and go through and examine your emotions, and you'll see from your past that they are there and they served a purpose. You just may not have recognized it at this point, but this is why this transformation happens so quickly. So one of the things for me, I had difficulty with anger. Didn't want to do that. And I see now that it's a part of my nature that I always want to make things okay. But sometimes we're going to have anger, and we have to allow it to be there, because the anger is awakening us to something within us that's really important. Now, how we deal with it is a different thing. What we choose to do with it becomes what causes our world to evolve in a particular way, in a particular manner. In other words, if we're putting out something that's going to be really hateful, then we get that going on in our world. If we're putting out something where we're saying, wait a minute, this is going to be a really loving, helpful thing, then we're going to receive that as well. But sometimes we can't get there because we've had different emotions that we've experienced that are causing us to be a little frightened, afraid, or just not trusting them. And I'm saying this now because we're in a period where we are going through a big change in our world. It's a global change. It's happening everywhere. It's not just in my country, which is the United States. It's everywhere. And you felt that. And it's unnerving because we don't like being in places that we don't understand, that we don't know, that are uncertain. The fear of the unknown. And so it causes our emotions to come up. And in the channeling session that I had this morning, again, my Wilhelm, they're really great. They gave us a message that came through in 2012, which is, I've said over and over, that's when we received this information, your life operating instructions. And it was about using your emotions. And the message this morning, your emotions are there for a purpose, because you're using them to reach eternal happiness. Meaning that what we're moving through right now in this period, because we're in a period of global change that's been going on for many years, but for me, they said it started for me in this particular period in 2012. However, this is the time we were meant to understand it and use it and to actualize who we are. But we have a little bit of fear, a little bit of doubt, and that is why Wilhelm said that they were going to do all of those sessions, all the conversations, to help all of us, me especially, move through fear and doubt, because we're not sure where we're going. And we're trying to hold on to where we used to be. That's what you're seeing. Now, the other thing that was so brilliant is they had us do a visualization to go back and see this has happened throughout our civilization, throughout history. You can go back, and they said, take a moment, and you have technology. Look at pictures of what things looked like 1,000 years ago. They don't look like they do now, but what had to happen in many different times, there are very specific times where there are global shifts that happen, there are global changes that happen. We're in one right now, and it seems overwhelming because none of us have experienced that. However, but if we can find some comfort, if we were to examine things, examine our history and see that this has happened. And when you look at visually the way the world looks, you can understand, oh, wait a minute, people came into the world, they were born at a particular time, they saw what existed, And they said, okay, let's make something better out of that. Let's see what we have. You use the energies of everyone who's come before. When you're born, you use those energies so that you can put your stamp on them, so you can put your mark on them. I remember years ago, and I use this all the time, my coach, when I first started, he said, and I said, I'm not going to go do that. And he said, no, you're going to be better than I am. It didn't make any sense to me. No, that's what you're supposed to do. He goes, I did that with my coach. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what we're all supposed to do. You see, we come into the world, we get information from all those who have come before, the luminaries, the brilliant people, the geniuses, all of those folks. We have access to it. That's why they gave us infinite intelligence, you see. But we sometimes don't believe that we have access to it, or if we've received it, we just doubt it. And so they're telling me, we gave you all this information. It's in that program, and you doubted it all along. And until I didn't. And that's what happens. And I know that that's what will happen for everyone else. And when you start looking at and allowing yourself to feel what you're feeling during this period, because it's designed to help you transform. That's all.